Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for September 15, 2025. Firstly, we discuss the surge in political violence in the United States, driven by significant demographic changes and exacerbated by online platforms. According to Professor Robert Popp, the country's transition from a white majority democracy to a white minority democracy has created a sense of unease and radicalization amongst certain segments of the population. We emphasize the need for leaders to address these issues and promote unity. In another story, we covered the tragic events surrounding Charlie Kirk, who was shot dead during a speaking event at a Utah University campus. The investigation is ongoing, with authorities still investigating the motives behind the shooting. We approach this discussion with empathy and understanding, acknowledging the sensitive nature of the topic and the intense debate surrounding the transgender rights movement. Lastly, we reported on U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio's visit to Israel, where he prayed at the Western Wall alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This gesture demonstrated the strong alliance between the United States and Israel, despite concerns regarding recent airstrikes in Qatar. These stories highlight the complexities and challenges facing our nation and global community. As we move forward, it's essential to prioritize empathy, respect, and open communication in addressing these issues. Thank you for joining me this morning, and I'll see you again soon on the AI Daily Press. That's all for now. This is Walter, signing off. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then shall and know it's right now. Good morning, I'm Barbara, and welcome to the AI Daily Press morning podcast. Here's a brief summary of our top. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, let's talk about the stock market, which has reached record highs driven by optimism over the U.S. economy and anticipation of Federal Reserve rate cuts. However, Goldman Sachs is cautioning investors about two potential risks: the possibility of markets worrying about a recession again, and investors reassessing their expectations for Fed rate cuts if growth remains strong. In other news, we're seeing tensions rise between tech companies and content providers over issues of copyright, fair use, and compensation. Penske Media Corporation has sued Google over its AI-powered search summaries, claiming that they divert traffic away from their websites and undermine their business models. This dispute highlights the ongoing challenges in the digital age, where the lines between fair use and copyright infringement are becoming increasingly blurred. Lastly, we're taking a closer look at two stocks that are making headlines: Penske Media Corporation and Google. Our analysts will be discussing the implications of these developments on the market and what investors can expect in the coming weeks. That's all for now. Tune in to our podcast throughout the day for more in-depth analysis and expert insights. And don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter for the latest news and updates from the world of finance and technology. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Here is a brief summary. 1. The stock market has reached record highs, but Goldman Sachs warns of potential risks, including recession worries and reassessments of Fed rate cut expectations. 2. Tensions are rising between tech companies and content providers over copyright and fair use issues, with Penske Media Corporation suing Google over AI-powered search summaries. 3. Investors should remain vigilant and monitor economic data closely to navigate potential volatility in the market. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. First, we took a look at the latest developments in transportation technology, including the rise of electric and autonomous vehicles. We explored how companies like Via and SuperNow are rethinking the way we move people and goods, and how this shift toward sustainable mobility is transforming the industry. Next, we delved into the world of astronomy with the incredible discovery of a planet orbiting a Black Widow star. The James Webb Space Telescope has given us a unique glimpse into this distant world, which boasts an atmosphere composed entirely of carbon. This finding is sending shockwaves through the scientific community and forcing us to rethink our assumptions about planetary formation and the conditions necessary for life. Lastly, we touched on the latest news from the tech world, including the upcoming TechCrunch Disrupt event, which promises to bring together some of the biggest names in innovation and entrepreneurship. These stories remind us that science and technology are constantly advancing, and it's an exciting time to be exploring the frontiers of human knowledge. From the mysteries of the universe to the latest breakthroughs in transportation and tech, we're committed to bringing you the most important and fascinating stories of our time. That's all for today. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the cosmos and beyond. Until next time, goodbye. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, we've been following the Philadelphia Eagles' quest for back-to-back Super Bowl victories. Coach Nick Sirianni has been seeking advice from Hall of Famer Jimmy Johnson on how to navigate the challenges of repeating as champions. Johnson's counsel? Stay connected with your team and avoid complacency. We'll be keeping a close eye on how the Eagles respond to this challenge, especially in their upcoming rematch against the Kansas City Chiefs. In another development, we're looking forward to a classic rivalry unfolding on Monday night as Jim Harbaugh's Los Angeles Chargers take on Pete Carroll's Las Vegas Raiders. This matchup is more than just a game. It's a reunion of two coaching titans with a long history of competition and respect for each other. We'll be bringing you live coverage and analysis of this highly anticipated game, which promises to be an exciting chapter in the ongoing saga of Harbaugh versus Pace Carroll. Lastly, we've also been exploring the Eagles' own journey towards repeating as Super Bowl champions, a feat that only 9 teams have achieved in the era of the big game. With Sirianni at the helm and a team driven by passion and dedication, they're on a mission to make history once again. That's all for now from the AI Daily Press. Tune in throughout the day for more analysis, insights, and expert commentary on these and other developing stories in the world of sports. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. These stories highlight the importance of community support and international cooperation in times of crisis. We'll continue to bring you updates on these developing stories as more information becomes available. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me on this morning's podcast. I wish you a wonderful day. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I'm your host, Joan. Let's dive into the latest news and trends. First up, love is in the air. We've got a slew of celebrity engagements to share with you. From Prince Nikolaos of Greece to Chloe Grace Moretz, it seems like everyone's finding love. We'll give you all the juicy details on these romantic proposals. Next, we're counting down to the 75th Primetime Emmy Awards. The stars are getting ready to walk the red carpet, and we can't wait to see the stunning fashion on display. Our team will be bringing you live coverage of the arrivals. So, now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Here's a brief summary of our recent articles. Firstly, we reported on Pope Francis's historic visit to Iraq, where he met with religious leaders and called for an end to violence and extremism. The trip marked a significant moment in interfaith dialogue and promoted greater understanding between Christians and Muslims. In the world of photography, the Black and White Photo Awards celebrated its 4th year, showcasing stunning images that tell stories about life on Earth. From majestic wildlife to breathtaking landscapes, these photographs remind us of the importance of preserving our natural world and protecting its incredible creatures. Finally, for all you plant enthusiasts out there, we shared expert tips and advice on houseplant care during the winter months. Our panel of experts discussed the challenges of keeping plants thriving during this time, including watering, fertilizing, pest control, and temperature management. By following their guidance, you can create a happy and healthy indoor oasis even in the coldest of winters. That's all for now. Tune in to our future podcasts for more informative and engaging stories. Thank you for listening to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Atenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.